So this is the rollback, the AM edition, with less alcohol and more coffee.
What do you mean? I am drinking alcohol.
Is that is that fucking fused tea or like is that
Yes,
Arizona? What is
yes,
that?
yes. But I put whiskey in this. I swear.
You put whiskey on a peace tea can?
In a peach. Yeah, I put peach whiskey. It mixes. It checks out.
It's summer. It's the summer season.
Got to cool off somehow, huh?
Yeah. Look at my mug. Look at my mug.
This Dunder Mifflin. Hey, are you
And
Dwight?
it says world's best boss. My favorite employee bought it for me. Myself.
I was gonna say, do your employees? Are you Michael Scott? Is this what this is?
Um if we were to break down the dichotomies of my office space, I would be technically I would be Creed. Like that.
Really?
Like yeah, like Creed and I have the same job, quality assurance. So yeah. And
So
I am also very ominous
and
and
sketchy as
say,
fuck.
yeah. So checks out.
Man,
Creed is also like Creed is my second or third favorite character in The Office too.
bad. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't normally do this in the AM. There's a reason for that. I don't know if you can tell. There's some energy here, but also it's too damn early.
It's 12:30. What are you talking about? It's not that early. Do you usually work on Saturdays?
Yeah, dude. Normally I work 6 days a week.
Yeah. And today was off? Why?
Uh, no, my boss decided to grace us with his presence on a Saturday. So okay, I get the day off, and then I worked the next 5 Saturdays in a row. Like I worked the last 6, one weekend off, then I worked the next 5 in a row. Yeah, right,
The American system has failed us once again.
dude. Oh god, there's a reason I'm trying to quit so fast. Don't worry. Oh,
The,
actually,
the Mexican one is not that much better, I will say that. But at least healthcare.
yeah,
It's shitty healthcare, but it's healthcare.
fuck you. Oh god. Wait, one last thing before we close out the bit.
We
I
go
wanted to ask
live.
you- yeah,
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
ask you something.
Yeah.
How much athletic ability do you have?
I look like I have more than I actually do, but not zero.
So not zero. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like if you had to assemble an elite basketball team made of Warner Brothers property characters, do you feel like you could defeat other teams?
I will tell you this. I wouldn't have the entire Looney Tunes. I wouldn't have only Looney Tunes on my team. I would have way more. I would have a different array of characters. I think LeBron had the right idea what he was doing. But here's a missed opportunity, and I'm going to say this before we start the review, because if not, I'm only going to talk about this in the review. But Warner Brothers developed a little TV show called Ted Lasso. And
That's Ted Lasso? Is Warner Brothers?
yeah, technically.
Why the fuck don't they have it on HBO Max? Like, fuck Apple TV.
Oh, because they developed it for Apple, or Apple bought it, or I think they did it before Warner Brothers was like, hey, we should do like a streamer service. So yeah, if you watch an episode of Ted Lasso, it starts by saying Warner Television like presents, like, yeah. So where's Ted Lasso? Why is he not in this movie? He would have been the best coach. He would have brought us biscuits. He would have reminded us what it was like
Be a team.
in Kansas, and he would yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my 2 cents. What you would have had King Kong in your team.
Oh, I already know the team I would have assembled, but we'll talk about that in the review.
We'll do a little draft at the end.
Deal.
Yeah.
Fucking deal. All right.
Thank you for welcoming us into your headphones. My name is Chema,
And I'm Eddie.
reviewing Space Jam: A New Legacy.
And this
This
is the rollback.
is the rollback.
So, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Damn. What were your... So, okay, wait. You know what? Let's start with this. Can I give a little bit of background to the movie before we actually jump
Yes.
into the review?
Yes.
So they tried developing this movie way back in 1997. They wanted to do a sequel immediately with Michael Jordan, but he was like, "Nah, I got a career I need to focus on because I need to prove I am the GOAT." So because apparently it was disrupting his training. Like, obviously filming disrupts your training.
Yeah.
So he said, "Nah," and so they were like. Then they tried to do skateboard jam with Tony Hawk. They tried doing race jam with some NASCAR guy. Like, they tried doing spin-offs to try and like incorporate, but they could never get anyone down. They offered at one point the role to Kobe to do the Space Jam sequel. Like, okay, we're going to start you this time. And Kobe, rest in power indeed. But Kobe said no, because he said he was already getting annoyed with the comparisons to Michael Jordan, that he was like, "Nah, I don't want to do this. Like, it's just gonna make us compared to each other even more, and we're both."
Didn't he like lead into it though?
Kobe?
Yeah.
No,
he leaned into it like at the start of his career, didn't he?
The comparisons or to Looney Tunes, to the Space Jam?
No, to Jordan.
From what I understand, he tried to be his own man. Like, he wasn't so much like, "I'm the next Michael Jordan." It's like, no, I'm the first Kobe.
Okay.
And then so they tried that. They tried it with Steve Nash, and now LeBron. And LeBron was finally able to hook it in.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it was bound to have a troubled history. I like many kids of the 90s grew up with the original Space Jam, and we grew up with Jordan. Like, Jordan, if you grew up in the 90s, even if you didn't care about sports, you were just like amazed by the existence of this man. Like, just like, you knew the name. It was synonymous with it's still synonymous with basketball. And I'm not a big sports guy, and I knew who he was, and of course I watched Space Jam because as a kid, as a crazy kid running around, who didn't love the Looney Tunes? Like, they're perfect. I once saw a critic say that if Disney is classical music, the Looney Tunes are jazz, and I think that's like the perfect comparison.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. They can be compared because they're so different. So the original Space Jam, I'll be completely honest, and I want to say this without any nostalgia goggles, it's not a good movie. Like, it's
not.
It's not like Jordan is not a very good actor, and the Looney Tunes are not that funny in that movie. They're just not. Like, and the movie served its purpose. It was bound to be just a commercial for the two brands, and it succeeded. And I agree that it is the most 90s thing that has ever been done. Like, it is criminally 90s in a good way, and we can watch it now with nostalgia, and we can say, oh, that's a nice trip.
Yeah,
that's it. It's not a movie that was bound to win any Oscars, but I do agree that the animation meshed really well with the live action. I think it always looked like really well. Not as good as something like Roger Rabbit, but still pretty good.
Yeah.
And this one, the new one, I do agree that the same way that the 90s, that the original was, this is the most 2021 movie that has ever been made. Like, it's so in your face about it, in the same way that the original one was to us. So I've been seeing a lot of criticisms that say that this movie sucks, this movie sucks. The original one is not good either. It's not for us. It's not for you, and it's not for me. It's for kids. Like, 6-year-olds are gonna love this movie.
I was gonna say the same damn thing. Like, who's the audience for this, man? It's not us. It's fucking. Yeah. It's 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds on TikTok. Like,
yeah,
it's not. This is not meant for us. Like, we're gonna watch it. Like, fucking, you better watch it with the asterisks, knowing like you're not the audience.
Yeah,
fucking, the audience is your little 10-year-old kid. The kid that's actually here watching the movie in the theater with you.
Yeah, and for what it is, they'll love it. I think it's a great nonstop trip for them. But I do have some criticisms for them because there are some things that I did not like about this movie. This movie, if we divide it into 3/3, there's 1/3 I like, there's 1/3 I kind of like, and then there's 1/3 I hate.
I have a feeling I know the order.
Okay. You wanna guess that?
You like the first third, you're okay with the second third, and you hate the last third.
Not exactly in thirds of like the time that's passed in the movie. I mean, 3 elements. I mean,
oh, okay.
I like the Looney Tunes. I like everything that they did, and I like every like Warner Brothers thing that happens. I kind of like LeBron in this, and I think he's just okay in this. I hate everything about the Sun, and especially about War Machine. What's his name? Yeah, the villain. What's his name? Algae Rhythm. Yeah, I hated this villain. He was insufferable, and his scenes were so long. And it's just every time they cut back to him and the Sun and the Sun just like quote unquote bonding, I'm like, get back to the Looney Tunes, please.
Is that good heat though? Is that good heat though because you hate the villain, or you hate him so much because he's insufferable that you want to turn off the TV? Like when is it good heat and when is it bad heat?
I wanted to skip it. Like I knew that I was not gonna get anything out of these scenes. Like I knew where it was going. This movie is predictable, but in the same way that a kid's movie is predictable, it doesn't make it bad. It's just like if you're gonna use the tropes that we know and that are predictable, fucking rush it up.
Yeah.
We got the movie's called Space Jam: A New Legacy. It's not let's see the villain.
Yeah.
I want to watch the Looney Tunes, and for what they are when they're on screen,
they're actually funny sometimes.
They're on fire. Yeah, they have some really good scenes, and I love this. It's very Ready Player One. When it's like all these worlds of all these Warner Brothers worlds. That part when they're like drafting all the Looney Tunes and bringing them from different movies. Oh, that was my favorite part of the movie. It was so well done.
Honestly, there was a little bit of cringe there. I liked it. I understood it. It was just like, some of this is low. The granny part really like made me cringe as like a motherfucker.
The granny? Oh,
she was in the Matrix? Part. Yeah, when she was in the Matrix, I was like, why?
Yeah.
You couldn't give this to Daffy or something?
I love what...
No, you go first.
I was gonna say that. Okay, if we're gonna start breaking it down like in order, or how exactly do you want to go?
Up to you. We can just talk about the positives and negatives throughout. Like I can tell you right now, one positive I've got is the graphics are great.
Yeah, I agree. Animation's top notch.
Yeah. You were gonna say something just now.
I want to talk about that scene when they're drafting like all the so after LeBron arrives to the Warner Brothers world and only Bugs is there, and they're talking, he's like, everyone left to different worlds, so we have to go get them. And you can tell that this has both heart and comedy there. I like how the way that they summon a spaceship by summoning Marvin the Martian is that they just stand on a field and they just go, we claim this for Earth. And then he just comes like, no. How fucking dare you? Just like,
this is the name of Mars. All right, you can stay here. We're going to go check out your spaceship real quick.
Yeah. And then they just go and get them. Yeah, that's classic. And that's one of those great things that like these things don't age. They will always keep coming back and they're good. And then we have this great opportunity to see all these Warner Brothers characters and revisit all these movies. And did you watch the Teen Titans Go to the Movies movie?
No.
Okay, it's also like a very kids movie, but I watched it in theaters and I had a really fun time. And I had this one reaction where there's a scene in the movie where the Teen Titans go to the Warner Brothers lot, and there's the water tower, the famous water tower with the WB logo. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where like they see the water tower and Starfire just goes, look, that's where the Animaniacs live. And I was in the theater and it was just me and this dad, just like 2 seats behind me, we were just cracking laughing. Like we're the only ones that got it. And every kid in the audience is like, what's an Animaniac? It's like, no, you don't get it. Like, this is amazing. Great reference. And then when I was watching Space Jam, I was watching with my sister and with my mother. And the water tower like showed up and I just started cracking laughing because I just remember that scene. And but yeah, so we go to all these Warner Brothers worlds, and I love that they started with Mad Max. Like it's the perfect place to get the coyote and it's beautiful. And then the Roadrunner, that was a great way to start with this section.
What's called? Did you? So I'll just say this one thing I really didn't like. Yeah. I hated that Daffy was a coach. I hated that. I wanted him to get off the bench. I wanted him to play. I wanted him to be there.
But he sucked.
No, but he's part of it though, man. Like in the first one, he played. He got his ass whooped, but he went. And I hated like fucking substitute Tweety or Sylvester. Like, hey, no. Get those fuckers off the court. Daffy, you're in. Let's go.
There's so one of the things that I really like is that when they go pick him up, he's in the DC world, like he's in the DC universe, and he's basically just like a foil, like he's ruining everything so that the Justice League can come in and like kick ass.
Yeah,
and I don't know, I like that they did that, but no, I mean he ruins everything that he's in. That's his foil, like that's his thing. So I don't know, making him a coach kind of made sense.
What's called, and then so how did you feel about Bugs' character development? Because Bugs has always been very like basic as far as like, look, I'm a smart ass, I cause trouble, but we have a good time. But in this one, you can tell he has more character. He wants his family back, his friends.
He has heart. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot more to him. You know how in video games they kind of make like Link and Mario, they're silent.
Protagonists, yeah.
Exactly, because you're supposed to imprint how you feel on them to some degree. You know, you play them in your fashion. Bugs to me was always like that, kind of like the same way Mickey is. But this one, Bugs actually had some clear motivation. I want my family back. You know, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a positive. I think
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I grew up watching Looney Tunes, and up to, have you seen the new Looney Tunes show, like the most recent one?
Is it the one where they're in college?
No,
I have nothing.
So it's just, I think it's called the new Looney Tunes show or just the Looney Tunes show. It's on HBO Max, and it's the Looney Tunes, but it's more of a sitcom than like a cartoon. Like the funny comes from the dialogue, not from like their actions.
But they're self-referential, I assume. Like they know that it's a cartoon, I guess.
Yeah, I mean I think it's still very funny, and I think that helped develop. You know, he's more like a Seinfeld than a cartoon character, but I think it's still very funny, and you know the situations that they get in is good, and I think that helped develop a different phase for him. And yeah, I do agree that they're supposed to be kind of empty, self-referential catchphrase characters. And it works when we're doing something like that, where like, oh, you know, he wants his family back, he wants his friend back. I don't think it works in, like, for example, the ending where like, oh, he's gonna die, but he's not really gonna die. Like,
yeah,
that to me did not work at all, because like we knew what it was coming, and I hate it when movies do that, because like we know, like,
he was not gonna die.
Yeah, like you're not gonna kill him. This is not Cars 3. Like, Lightning McQueen is not gonna die.
I have a question. I had an idea. I had an idea for the ending.
Go ahead.
I want to hear what you think. So, imagine it's Lola, Bugs, LeBron, and his son, and Daffy comes off the bench, right? And you know how they had this whole bit going on at the beginning where it's like, it's duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season. This is gonna be so stupid, but I thought of this. I'm just like, that's so dumb, but I would laugh my ass off. You know how there's the glitch move where if you do it, you know, it kind of kills the game or whatever?
Yeah. And
then someone's going to do it, and then the LeBron's like, I'm a human being, I can do it. And Bugs is like, relax, I'm a Looney Tune, I can survive anything, right? And they're like, well, what if, and Bugs is like, look, we don't have time for this, let's go. What if Daffy had come off the bench and he did it? And Daffy's just like airing out, and they're like, no, Daffy. And Daffy just looks at Bugs, and this might be the dumbest line I've ever thought about in my life. Okay, I want to be clear. What if Daffy was being held by Bugs and he's dying, and they're like, no, it's okay, whatever. And Daffy's like, it's all right, Rabbit. Didn't you hear? It's duck season. How stupid would that be?
That was despicable, yeah.
And then Daffy dies.
Oh, God. But of course, you know, not really. I mean, it would have been a nice change of pace. It would have been a nice twist, even though, like, still, I don't know, something.
Because we all know Bugs, nothing's gonna happen to Bugs, but Daffy, oh fuck, Daffy's dead.
We all saw back in action, you know. He you know,
durable.
He came back. Yeah, what else did I like? Kind of unexpected on like the characters that kept showing up. I mean, they revisited like all these movies. They went to Casablanca, they went to The Matrix, they went to fucking Austin Powers, they went to like several franchises, and then we see them all clash at the end. And weirdly enough, something that I did not expect, that a Rick and Morty cameo just randomly passes in the movie, with like Justin Roiland coming into voice either way, and like kind of out of character. Rick didn't burp, he didn't curse, so it was kind of like out, but still there. I'm sure.
Is your problem now, dum-dums?
I'm sure the kids were. I'm sure children were way more excited than adults for that scene. Look, we can sit here and talk about all the positive things that we love about Looney Tunes, but
let's get into some negatives.
Sadly, this movie has more negatives than positives. And the clear elephant in the room is that LeBron cannot fucking act.
Really? No, dude. To me, LeBron was fine. My biggest flaw with this movie was the bad guy. I didn't feel like he was a real threat, or like his motivations weren't good enough.
He was ridiculous. Like he was like if he could have gone like all the way with it and like be like an actual cartoon character just in a human body, like that would have been funny, because people can't do that.
Yeah.
And he's a good actor. Like he's a fantastic actor. Like also Rwanda is great. Fucking Rain on Me is great. He's great in the Marvel movies, but he just I don't think they give him like funny things to say. Like he's just constipated the entire time.
I think if his motivation had been tweaked,
sorry,
bless you.
Sorry.
I think if his motivation had been tweaked, it could have been more entertaining. Like imagine if it was like, not that he wants to destroy the Warner Brothers verse or whatever, or fucking, everyone that's watching this game has now been linked in, so 350 million people are gonna die if you lose it. Imagine if he was just like, look, I don't want to be here. I want to be in the real world being the best. You're the king of basketball. I want your body. I win, I get your body. You win, you get your son back. And the whole time playing on the son, like, well, imagine if I was your dad. Imagine how much better it would be. I would let you do whatever you want. Like, more layered villain to me equals better. I don't know. I feel like if the villain was more fleshed out, this movie would have been better. LeBron was fine. He wasn't great, but he was fine. He was funny. He was better at Michael Jordan at acting for once. I think LeBron was a better actor than Jordan, man.
See, here's the thing. I would be inclined to agree with you if he hadn't been so funny in Trainwreck. And I think the difference is like the material that he's given and the direction that he's given, because he was funny, subtle in Trainwreck. Like he didn't need to be loud or expressive. He just needed to. He was also playing himself. And in this one, I think he's so bad. Like there's a scene at the start when he's like scolding. And also, he's a bad dad. Like he's scolding his children for not being good at basketball. And then I don't like he's like, no, you gotta be the best. You gotta play, and you gotta be the best. And then the fake mom just comes in and it's like spaghetti is ready. He goes, oh, that's my favorite. And he just goes like, he's a real person. He's playing himself. How is he bad at this?
No, I mean, maybe because he doesn't have anyone to play off of. He has no real pro actors to play off of except for Don Cheadle from time to time. Like LeBron is put in the spot to carry a movie, and he ain't no Will Smith. Will Smith and I Am Legend carry that film on his back.
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah, and the original one, he had what's his name from Jurassic Park? The
dude that gets eaten by lizards.
Yeah, he had him to like bounce off some energy, and Bill Murray. Like he had people to bounce off, and in this one, it's just LeBron. Like it's just him and his not real family who's playing his family. Which why didn't you just cast his real family if they weren't going to be like that good at acting either?
Ball.
There it is.
That did make me laugh though. Some of that was funny.
The ball bit was funny.
Some of that was hilarious.
It just kept coming back. I did like that. But I don't know, something about like I feel like the writers for this movie were just like, what are kids like? They like to make their own video games. Okay, we're gonna just add that, and like I just feel like this is too catered. Like it's catering so much to that audience, which again, I'm not that audience, but I can see like the wheels turning of these writers just going like, we get it, we know what's cool, and it comes off kind of lame.
Well, no, see, and imagine if a Space Jam fan was the one that wrote this. I don't imagine because there was not enough Space Jam, and not that it has to be a shot-for-shot remake, but like there's some self-referential humor in the first one that was definitely not there in the second one. It was very much corporate dick swinging when it came to like, look at all the worlds we have, look at all the things we can entertain you with. You know, it was very much, you know.
Also, I don't know how much involvement LeBron had in like the writing of this, but it's kind of embarrassing how much they're sucking up to him. Like the entire movie is like, oh, you're LeBron, you're the king. Hey, King James. It's like it's too much, you know. It's like even I felt like, hey, LeBron, you're the greatest star in the world. Hey, LeBron, you're the most followed person. This person like stop giving me exposition on a man that we already know who he is. You know, like stop no one's gonna watch this. Like no one's watching this going like, I wonder who LeBron is. Like, you know, like we know he's the guy that yells Taco Tuesday every Tuesday on Instagram. Like we know who he is, and you know he's just there. And you know, show don't tell, as they say.
What's called another problem I think I had was also and I know this is dumb, but I'm just gonna straight up say it. Style points. I fucking hated that.
Me too.
Because it's like what? Like at least with the first one, I could fucking follow. Like you follow, okay, make a basket, 2 points. I can follow that. And this one, nope, you get style points now. Like don't know.
You know, I guess it's supposed to be a video game. You know, it makes sense. You know, it's like I played Mario Kart with people who are like, you know, you think you could disable the items? Disable the items in Mario Kart? Like
sacrilege.
Do you have shit for brains? Like who does that? like I didn't know a new update for Stupid came out, but glad to know you had early access. Like I would agree with you, but then we would both be wrong. I mean,
damn.
Like it's a stupid idea. So, you know, if it's supposed to be a video game, you know, sure, give it the style points, but it did became kind of like unfair. And then the whole focus on the kid's son, on the kid is like, it's boring because it's not engaging. Like we know what it is. We've seen it a million times. Like my dad doesn't understand, but at the end he's going to understand. We know it.
It's a trope we've seen a million times.
And it's I'm going to say something controversial, but I think the kids deserve better.
Better stories?
I mean, it's just, sure, you can show it to a kid and they'll be entertained for a couple hours, but is the kid better by the end, you know?
Oh, I feel like I had to be taught the whole lesson of believe in yourself, you know, do what you want to do with your life.
But there's like a million movies that also do that and do it better.
But I know, no, but I'm saying like for kids right now, this is theirs for now. You know what I mean? Like I have that back when I was a kid, and I had like 30 movies like that. You know what I mean? Like, guess I'll give it to them.
Yeah, and you know, makes sense. You know, like I said, we're not the target audience. We're nitpicking by this point.
Yeah,
but like I just don't know. I don't know if kids will wound up rewatching this as much as we rewatched the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if also the fact that it's on streaming services and, you know, we don't value those as much as I used to value. Like I used to have a VHS tape of Space Jam and I watched that and rewound that until it did not work anymore. Like that is how much I exhausted that. Yeah. And when we're looking at today's market and we see a movie like this, it's like, is it gonna have the legs? Like, are people gonna rewatch it and, you know, keep checking it out? Like, is it gonna I don't think it's gonna be as the original one. And it doesn't have to be, it just needs to be its own thing. And it is its own thing. That's why it's hard to criticize it, but a little disappointed, not gonna lie.
So before we start giving our final thoughts, I want to ask you something. What if you had to like pick your dream team?
Let's do a draft.
Yeah, what would be your dream team? You have to take up one slot. So you got 4 slots. Who are you drafting from the Warner Brothers universe?
4 slots?
You have to draft 4 slots. Four Warner Brothers characters.
Okay. How about I do one, you do one, we go back and forth.
All right.
Does that work?
Can we draft the same player, or do we have to each pick different players?
If we repeat, we repeat. That's fine.
All right.
Let's see. I'm thinking my first draft from a Warner Brothers character. I'm gonna go with the agents from the Matrix, like at least one. You know,
Really?
Agent Smith. He's he can move. He can be subtle. He can be next to you and you won't even see him. He's scary. He can do the scary Hugo Weaving laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm gonna choose an agent from the Matrix.
I'm gonna go with
my first.
I'm gonna go with the Iron Giant.
The Iron Giant on your team.
Yes.
Because we're gonna all say Superman and then we're all gonna cry when we see him.
Oh God. He would destroy the field, but yeah.
Okay. Next, I'm gonna choose Grimm from the Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy, because he could just kill characters. And do you remember that episode when they ask him like, why do people like die that don't deserve it? And he goes, well, because sometimes I get confused.
Oh, I never knew about that one.
Yeah,
okay.
So probably Grimm from Grim
okay.
Adventures.
Shit. Say young Albus Dumbledore.
Like Jude Law?
I'm saying Jude Law Dumbledore.
Okay.
So we can really utilize that magic.
Yeah. Let me think. Gotta think of one more. I'm literally looking at like a list of characters. I'm gonna choose Wilt from Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends, because he's technically a b-ball player. He only has one arm, but he can dunk. He tall. He will cover up your Iron Giant.
All right. I have a post. I have a good defender. I need a power forward. I need someone that can shoot really well. Who's great with guns? Is John Wick a Warner Brothers property? I don't think so, right?
I have no idea.
Who can shoot really well?
Know.
Deathstroke.
You're gonna go with Deathstroke?
Deathstroke.
Okay, and I'm gonna round up my team with let's see. I should know my Warner Brothers better. I'm literally looking at a list. Damn it. Let's go with I have too many cartoon characters already. I need to balance them out with. I'm gonna go with an unexpected one, a diplomat. I'm gonna bring Jay Gatsby from The Great Gatsby, because he would. I don't know. He has money, so
he'll probably
buy us something.
Do we have to stick with Warner Brothers characters, or can we like draft someone outside of Warner Brothers?
Well, if we're not working with the logic of this, then what? You want to bring Mickey Mouse for money?
Yes.
Just for money points? What kind of Roger Rabbit crossover is this? Okay. So that's our draft. I want everyone to leave in the comments what team do you think they would win. Reminder that we would be playing as well, and I'm taller than Eddie, so keep that in mind when you're commenting.
I feel like I'm a little more athletic at you than at basketball, but fair enough.
I
can post. That's my only skill. I can post.
Well, the only thing I'm posting is this
Instagram
likes. And yeah. So final thoughts on Space Jam: A New Legacy?
Kids will like it. Adults, fucking with an asterisk, shut up and watch it. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. It's fine for what it was meant to be. It's fine.
Don't watch it if you're trying to relive your youth. Don't watch it if you want to be nostalgic for the original one. I did like the Michael B. Jordan cameo. I forgot to say that. That was funny. Kind of expected at the last second, but kind of funny. I think it's fine. I think it's for kids. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's subpar. It's not even like a McDonald's Happy Meal. It's like, I don't know, cold chicken tenders that you get from a better restaurant.
Without the Szechuan sauce.
With war flashbacks. 2.5 out of 5. I think it's just okay. But it did get me in the mood to, when the movie ended, I got an ad of what was coming in HBO Max, and it said, remember, The Suicide Squad is coming, and yes, excited for that.
That'll be next week. That'll be
next week. Can't wait. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to hear more about our thoughts on movies, go to therollback.net. I've been Chema.
And I've been Eddie.
And this
was the rollback.
Signing off with a reminder that you left your tea in the kitchen and it's probably cold by now. Go get it.
Someone's going to be sad.